welcome back to another stream. Today I am playing a game called Our Life. I have no idea what it is. I was told it was a visual novel. So that's what I'm going with. I don't know if it's gonna be a good or a bad visual novel. But it's fine. It's fine. Is it a tutorial? Why is there a tutorial? Maybe it's not a visual novel. Alright. Animate menu in multiple ways. Continue. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Alright. Only appear in DLC moments that can be purchased. There's DLC for this? Alright. What is this word? I've never seen this word in my life. Wait, this is it. Why does it keep going on about DLC? Is there a lot of DLC for this? Oh, we can have a character creation thing? Okay, okay. Oh, sweet. Okay. This is a very long tutorial when it's just words on a screen. How do I? Oh, I can. Aha, there we go. Alright. New file. We'll figure out as we go. Alright. Oh, didn't I just go for this? My bad. Alright, let's just click and skip it. Oh, okay. Let's have my classic Saskia Wolf. Oh, alright. There we go. Voice name. Wait. Huh. Alright. Let's have pointed. Just looks like an alien. Oval. Sure, we'll do that. Oh gosh, okay. Peachy. Let's go peachy. Eye shape. Round 1, round 2. Alright, let's do that one. Eye colour. We need red. We'll do. Where's blue? There's blue. What should we have? Imagine! That's cool. Oh. Oh, we can do that. Oh. Okay, let's do, let's do... Wait, can we have purple? Then we'll do this one black. Why is that? Someone just changes colour. Alright, I'm gonna spend like an hour on this. We'll just go with this one. Wait, can we change this one? I want this one to be black. And this one can be... This one can be purple. Suppose it works. Alright. Sure. Hand size. Alright, we'll do, right, what are we doing? We can't see these. Alright. We'll just skip through this. How am I supposed to know? Like, I can't see anything to do with my character. Let's, sure. I don't know what this means. I can't see anything else. Whoa. What just happened? Oh, I scrolled! Oh! Okay, it reset me. Let me do this real quick. I didn't know scrolling would take me back. Where was it? That one? No, we were peachy, that was it. Blue. There it is. And then this one. You know what, can we just do, let's just do brown. Kind of basically me now. There's no dark brown, but we're gonna roll with it. Just ignore all those. I don't understand this, but we're going to... Alright, let's just in case. Does it talk to me, or do I have to talk? Probably me. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination, with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your mums didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. Mums? So I have to... Okay, that's fine. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mum called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. I suck at reading, I'm so sorry already. And it was saying hi. I don't know to spec that. I guess you don't really get why they said hi. They saw you every day, you know about them anyway. I mean, usually I'm the top one because I'm a bit awkward, but I'm also the bottom one because I'm anxious as heck. But okay, let's go with the bottom one. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, His whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever, he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really, really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your mum calls it. Mom? No, mums, my bad. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your mum's had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. Somebody I got to talk to. Remember that's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite. I mean, they haven't done anything, so I mean you could still be polite. But right, okay, they're actually going to other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. It's not really okay to talk to someone who looks suspicious, but let's go with the middle one. You weren't sure about this man yet. Yeah, still a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. You were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what's going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. Yeah, why is he blocking the front door? I thought he was just like on the curb, like out here somewhere. Sure, let's go with that. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! Okay. His voice startled you and made you jump, but still you didn't look at him. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Oh god, okay. Still unsure. Not wanting to seem too approachable. Whole body is frozen in place. Yeah, that literally would be me. Sure, we'll be willing to be friendly. The man gives you a grin of his. This is sounding dodgy. Do you live around here? What's your name? Oh, he has a manta ray tattoo. You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed, the way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. I was thinking that, like a little surfer or something, but I guess if he's a tourist. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Did he ask me a question? I didn't even... What? I don't want to say that I live here, though. Sure, let's be friendly. Great, nice to meet you. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling on his face. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. Did he talk? I'm pretty sure he talked, right? But like, I barely heard it. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have... Let me start over. Alright. Oh my god, I have tears in my eyes from yawning. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it made him look creepier. Oh, he made a noise. Okay. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. Cove? What a weird name. Alright. Oh, God. Hey, That's what I said. Alright. Julian achieved water. You thought that was pretty cool. Well, this one he would seem like I'm insulting him, because if it's his kid that he named, he'd be like, hey, I picked that name or something. But this one is a bit too enthusiastic, so let's go with this one. He wasn't the only person like that in Sunset Bud. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured, oh my god, toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. What? Was that necessary to put that in there? The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Saskia, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you were 8, just like him. So, I'm 8 in this game? And you just randomly approached me? What? Why did I tell him my name when he knew my... Oh my god. He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. This is dodgy. I don't like this. Can you try to be friends with the You're buying your son friends. Give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him. I'll happily be friends. You don't need to pay me. But you've got to keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. So he knows? What the heck? This is what I'm saying. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendship? Oh my god. Alright, let's say that. Had your mom's done that for you and Lizzie? Thought made you frown. See? What did you say? Want to make a deal? Not really. Didn't want the money. Yes, see? Don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. Right? He deflated enough to notice, but not completely. I think he's just said, are you sure? I can barely hear him for some reason. It won't be so bad, even if it's just for the summer, that would be enough. That only made this sound more strange for you. Why does it lasting for the summer matter? When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill into a back pocket and changed the request. I get it, you don't have to. Would you be comfortable with he and I coming by for a normal visit? No money involved. Yeah, I'd have to ask. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the oh, this is like... Of course, they invited us over earlier, but I'd like to ask you to... Why are you asking me if you already asked earlier? Then I guess you can. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but... Well... He made a noise. Well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. Is there like... Let me save it real quick. Just in case. Right. Can I... No. Is there a... Aha. Ah, there we go. How far does that go? Jesus. The music's a bit meh. Alright, we'll leave it there. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? Why does he stutter? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Why? Sure. You nodded, not totally certain that you'd find Cove, but willing to look. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your mums are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put anyone else to work while I keep sitting here. Okay, his voice is definitely louder now. I thought he might come back and... That's not what What's important? I have to go. God, the English. Thanks again. Yeah, blah blah blah. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. He's gonna be there. You know he is. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. Let's say we always love the ocean. Sometimes Lizzie would join you, the two of you splashing each other in the waves. Those were the best days. That sentence didn't make sense to me. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Oh, he's cute. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have pink casts. That's literally what my first thought was. But this new boy did. You wondered how he got it. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. I'm gonna yawn again. Oh God. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. So I just read hi, and then I read are you lost second, and I had a very bad image in my head. But anyway, let's say are you lost. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? So cute. Eyes wide, he studied you. How'd you know that? Let's tell the truth. Aww. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You can't own a hill. Alright, let's do you shook your head. While doing so, you also picked a strand of lint on your leg. What a weird question to ask someone. What a weird detail to leave in a sentence. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool as it travelled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like they'd never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. maybe something to do with his mom, because he haven't like met his mom or anything, just his dad. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sitting in his dark lashes. Why are these actual details? Like, I have the picture right here. My mum made my dad leave and he took me with him, and now we have a house here and I want to go home. Oh, okay. I'm gonna yawn again. I'm not used to reading things. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mum. Stop crying. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it'd feel like to live with only one of your mums, but it must be pretty hard. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Alright. Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. I really can't talk today. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
Alright. Don't worry. Don't worry, sure, maybe it's weird and you're not gonna like it, but your dad's there too, right? Yeah? So, you're not really all by yourself, even if it feels like it. You just gotta tell him how you feel. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Oh my god, I can't read. He can't do anything if you don't make him hear you, right? Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm.
Sorry.
Alright, still doesn't want to go. Let's wait silently. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad even closer than before. There you are. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you and they rushed over. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Like, why are all the characters are cute so far? Saskia, you're here after all. Oh, so it's like mom and mum. Okay, okay. We had been at the park to check for Cove and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbour. I thought you might have gone off further away. Just sitting in the grass. Also, mummy is this one, and then the mum is this one with the glasses. Okay. Thank God you're both fine. Where are you two having fun? Wait. Confusing. You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. It's good, I think I'm gonna... You're 8! Stop it! Yes, I like him, sure. You nodded, smiling slightly. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Alright. Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Saskia knows this whole area so well. I'm 8! Stop it! Don't rely on me. Absolutely, we should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
Bye! The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Sounds like words. Sure. Can I show him my stuff? Then okay. Both of your mums laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. It can change in later steps. What do you mean? Comfort. Relaxed. Okay, relaxed. Interest. Crush. Oh, these change. Alright, sure. We'll do that. Even though we're 8. Let's just see what happens. You'll be able to change it again till step 2. Yes. Oh, achievement. Childlike affection. Nice. The next morning, you finished your breakfast so fast that you practically inhaled it. This escalated quickly. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you stayed put. Today, just like your mums had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. That face, though. Excited to see your new friend again, Saskia? Yeah, a lot. Oh! Achievement unlocked. Relaxed. Alright.
How sweet.
Isn't that just the sweetest thing? I bet the two of them are going to be great playmates.
Okay.
With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah. With all the... What in the... With all the okay, cool. An 8-year-old can muster. You looked at your empty cereal bowl and then at Mom. Okay, attitude kid, we see. Good job. He should be here soon. I genuinely don't know how that word a minute ago was meant to be said. Cleanup began and then, on cue, there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place, still loud though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Saskia, could you get it? You practically leapt out of your chair on the way to the door. Hey, wolf family. Oh my god. Okay. Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your mums have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. I should think so too. With his dad standing in front of him, and Mum and Mummy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. So confusing. Why couldn't they just have names? Pleased to see the interesting new boy again, you smiled at Cove. Cove returned it shyly. Let's go play in my room!
Okay.
Oh, rip. I spoke over the top of him.
Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids!
See you.
It's just like, see ya. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out. Yo, he's got a little sheep! He? No. My character has a little sheep. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I didn't even notice the drawings on the wall. I like this. I drew that! Cool. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. You hoped he liked your room. Yeah, sure. You had put a lot of effort into making your room as nice as it was. You hoped he didn't say anything bad about it. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you'd collected tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. Alright, zoom in. I think so, yeah, see? You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
This is a good collection. You got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to be like... What is that word? I don't know. Whatever. He actually meant it. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Oh, wait. Sheila? Okay, I guess it's a friend's name. I thought it was like an actual word. I was like, what is this? But okay. Lizzie's friend. Or like her #1 fan, I guess. Oh, okay. Don't have to say him. It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine. But you know. Come on, check out my shell some more. What? I found this one under a big piece of seaweed that had washed ashore, and you pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gone each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Sure, we could do stories. Apparently fascinated, either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. Like when you almost got pinched by a hermit crab while searching for shells, and after watching him scuttle back into the ocean, you found another empty shell that was almost a twin to his home. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. For some reason, it was making your cheeks feel warm. You had never felt like this around someone before. It was kind of weird. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mummy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Sheila's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I bought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. That's adorable. Just do great. Bust it open. We can keep looking while we wait for Sheila. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken out loud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. You can take it. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. You insisted. No, it's okay. You pushed the shell against Cove's chest, willing him to receive the present, but Cove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tightly at his sides. It was a battle you couldn't win, at least not today. Cove was your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to... Maybe you could give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Sheila. He knew where to look for that. Okay. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell that he would. No, you could tell what he was feeling. Feeling? Oh my god, I can't do this. You could tell what he was thinking right away. Oh my gosh. This isn't a good idea. You'll be alright. He's here. He can't. English. He's here. We can't tell him to leave. He is at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. This kid. Okay, sure, go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Do you want to break your other arm? I want him to make friends with everyone, but I also don't know him very well. Can I go with him? Let's say he's the least scary person. Every single bunny rabbit is scarier than Shiloh. But I don't want to see him. I don't know him. Comforted him? It's okay if you're worried. Nobody warned you this was gonna happen. Thanks. Shiloh poked his head into the living room. It was impossible to know for sure if he had heard what you'd been saying or not, but you guessed that he had. Hi. Oh my god. Okay. Cove shot you in an uneasy glance. I'm Shiloh. It's nice to meet you. Yeah. You have a lot of frick. Oh my god. So hello to the chat. Right, I do. What are you guys doing? We're looking at shells.
Can I do it too?
Cove shrugged, then looked back at your box of beach findings. What about that one? The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach findings some more. Beach findings? No, the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. Hey, check out this scallop shell that I found. I can't even. Whatever. Cool, right? It's a pretty color, kinda like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh.
Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. Might be yellow. Oh, those are cool. What?
I guess.
I like those colors too.
Awesome.
Both of them smiled. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too, right? English. You do too, right, Saskia? The park is fun. Park is pretty great. It's right at the beach. There's lots of fun stuff to do and lots of sand. It's a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just wanted to check the park out. Same. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your mums, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your mums that it was so short she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. "Hey, Lizzie." Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. "Saskia, Shiloh!" Blah 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 blah. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. It was nice to have someone who stuck with you. Who's that? Yo, she's cute. It's Cove, he is new. I thought these two were the same, like, age, though. 'Cause, like, this is the sister, and I thought she was younger.
Hi.
Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She just gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are?
Uh-huh.
Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest. Oh, wait, so is she the oldest sister? Wait, I thought she was the younger sister. By a lot. My mum said that you're Saskia's age. Okay, so I guess she is older. Thought so. I'm still the only one in the group with double digits. So I'm guessing she's like 10 or something. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth.
Oh.
So disappointed. For a second, it looked like he might cry again. But something in his eyes shifted, and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like mums and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. How do we know this, though? Although I don't want to upset me either. Okay, let's do that. You interjected quickly. Hoping Cove wouldn't start crying again, he sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Sheila was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Saskia in school. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. That was like me when I was younger. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversations with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. Shiloh's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was at something else entirely, you didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put your feet up, and get used to it. I can't talk today. You offered him a small smile, and that, at least, looked to reassure him some. Alright, I need a second to drink because I'm just dying. For the rest of summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch and the beach. Alright. Looking back on it years later, you would realize that you'd had a tiny crush on him right away. One that had made you want to spend as much time with him as you did. Of course, that was only the start of things. Ooh! Moment select. Step 1. Can I click any of them? Well, let me save first. Alright. Shopping. Come back before it gets dark. Alright, Sport? The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded of you when you'd first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. Alright. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise, because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little awkward for getting caught. You've got to learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them of the sand, then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first and then his dad. In turn, Cove shuffled his feet in place as you got closer. Saskia, hi.
How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today? Taking a walk. I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's lots of snails around here. Mr. Holden grinned at you kindly. After you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun, you know? No, that's not how it went. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him?
Yeah.
You immediately grinned at the idea. You hadn't been sure if you'd see Cove today, and now he was inviting you somewhere. This day couldn't get much better. Great, I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. Mr. Holden reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd, since your mums only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp 10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend, too. Sure. Alright. Cove's dad ruffled his sun hair as he was straightening back up. The bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. Then with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Cove strayed towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining, and there wasn't any clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salt and ocean air. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. Are you looking for shells? Cove startled a little at the sound of your voice and mumbled a sort of. If you see any, you can let me know. You could manage that. You dropped your view to the sand, walking carefully so you didn't step on any. Oh my god, I can't talk. You were good at finding shells. You had a lot of them at home and always found new ones whenever you visited the beach. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run up the sand quickly when a wave rushed in more than a few times, and although Cove threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word. What did you want to go to the shops for? Need a new sand pail? Yeah, what happened to your old one? Cove narrowed his eyes, seeming to think deeply for a second.
Whoa.
It disappeared? Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, Cove ducked his head down, lacing his fingers behind his back. It didn't seem like he was going to continue, so you nudged his arm. How did that happen? Well, Cove opened his mouth, then shut it again, considering. I took it to the beach one day. Uh-huh. When I got home, it wasn't anywhere. You left it there? Nope, it wasn't at the beach when I went back. Then you lost it. It disappeared.
So.
What about you? What do you do out here? I like looking at fish. They don't like me, so they always swim away if I get close, but they're pretty before that. Cool. Starfish are fun. They aren't going anywhere, even if you touch them. A small laugh escaped you. That's true. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. Whatever. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day. The call of birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. It's nice. The energy surrounding the area seemed to fill you, and there was a bounce in your step as you began looking at all the familiar sights. There were so many things to do, you didn't know where to begin. You looked at Cove, hoping he was just as excited as you were. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. Oh my god. What's that? Cove pointed towards a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with the large colourful umbrellas blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander. In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read "The Amazing Alexander" in glittery golden script. Why tell people his name if it's already on a sign? Good point. Cove hummed with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the amazing Alexander began shuffling a deck of cards. Maybe we should stay and watch. Cove glanced back at the man. He then briefly lifted his arms up off his sides before returning them to place. You grinned, waving for him to follow you as you raced back to the stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled one card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers, and the card just disappeared. Whoa! Oh, he's so mad. Why is he so mad? The amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Tell me. This had to be going somewhere, and you needed to find out. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer. It was great. You felt a tug, and then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. What? You knew that it couldn't really have come from your ear, but you still didn't get how he had done it. There was light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal circle. And one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. Wow. I sounded so sarcastic. Now you're really grateful he chose you. Oh my god, my throat is dying. You have to wait, guys. I really wish there was like voice lines so I didn't have to read it, but oh well. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. Blah 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 blah. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with the cards. Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. Maybe it wasn't so special. Just running fun. At least you had a fun time. Yeah. I mean, at least you had a fun time. You saw a magic trick and you got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it a worthwhile event. You thought that if you could find a card to practice with, maybe you could make it disappear too. The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed the side there was a whole rack of brightly coloured kaleidoscopes on display. Rubik's Cube. Sure, let's go with the kaleidoscope. Ooh, these are cool. You shifted your balloon string to your other hand so you could bring the mysterious tunnel to your eye. A whole palette of colours appeared right in front of you, spinning into all kinds of different shapes as you twisted the end of the tube. Cove picked one up and looked through, twisting the tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on track, moving to the other side of the store. He went under the awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. Are you having fun? Yeah. You returned his smile, happy to hear it. Why is he in this top corner? Like, that's literally where my camera is. Wait, hang on. Where's... There you go. Now you can see him for like 2 seconds. Now I'll put my camera back. Alright. When Cove moved towards some stalls nearby, you followed beside him. I want to know the dolphin. Gosh, gotta get comfy. While Cove looked at sand pails, you were drawn to a table with colourful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in the shape of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read "Handmade," standing proudly in front. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Oh, the dolphin. Your hand stopped on the dolphin, so similar to your balloon animal. It was made of a bright material that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. You remembered once seeing a pod of dolphins swimming out in the distance at the beach, jumping out of the water and splashing as they dived back in again. That was a great day. You were instantly enamored? I don't know. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6? You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You really made more than a $5 bill to your name. You really had a whatever. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh. It's $6. I didn't bring any money.
Alright.
It's fine. You don't have to... Cove didn't mind that. He took the keychain from your hands, and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself too. It's cool. You should get it. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you too. You had to remember to thank him next time you saw him. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey Cove. Yeah? I really like this keychain. Thank you. Cove looked over and you held it up so he could see better. I like it too. Cove looked further down the street where different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach, and just as he did, yours let out a light growl. A light growl. If it was mine, it would be like, it would be like thunder. Definitely. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all of this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. I really can't talk, oh my gosh. Alright. You two wandered around for a short while, looking at all the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you... I've never had them, so I wouldn't know what they were even good with, but I guess we could get the same. Oh wait, if I get a different one, maybe we could... Wait, let's get one with cheese. I don't know what they are, or what they would be good with, or whatever, but you know. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. It was covered in gooey melted cheese, just the way you like it. Okay, again, I haven't had pretzels, but I mean, melted cheese is like top tier. It seemed odd to get a dessert pretzel before eating normal food. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled up hand that was wrapped around a string. Oh, okay. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tucked the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist.
Oh.
Cove bounced his Cove bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around but remain attached, he smiled satisfied. Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. What? Okay. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his fingers on one hand and a string already tangled around the other. But the action made you feel strangely happy. You couldn't look him in the eyes.
Okay.
The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time you finished your pretzel, you were... That's not how that sentence reads. After a time you finished... Is it not a comma supposed to be there? I don't know. Whatever. You were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down to your level, then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to make it look like it was jumping through the air. If you turned to face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining part of his pretzel on the wrapper and he was gripping his dolphin too. Prince of Dolphins. Sure, let's go with that. He wears a crown made of seaweed and all of his friends are merfolk. Every now and then he'll make friends with a kid and let them ride on his back. You sighed, wishing you could meet a real dolphin like Merryweather. What's yours? Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... With a loud pop, the dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh no. Yeah, I said oh no before it came up. For a second, all Cove did was gape in shock, like you. Then his cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw tears start to glisten. Saskia, it. Oh dear. Let's give him my balloon. Don't cry. You quickly pulled the knot around your wrist loose and passed your balloon over to Cove. It wasn't the same colour, but you hoped Cove would accept it anyway. Here, you can have this one. Cove sniffled, a lone tear running down his cheek. No, I don't want to take yours from you. Then we're sharing. It's your turn to hold it. Really? Yeah, it's okay. Cove accepted the balloon delicately, probably to make sure this one didn't pop like the other. Thanks, Saskia. Seeing him like that felt much better than keeping the dolphin for yourself. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sand pail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and the sunset, fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been great going around with Cove. You hoped to do it again, but next time you wished nothing would happen to make him cry. Oh, so that's grey now. That's cool. I can save it. Alright. I'm gonna stop my stream here because I think I've kind of read a lot and it's like been just over an hour. So yeah, thank you for watching. Oh my gosh, as if you just appeared in the chat as I was about to leave. Sorry. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and I guess see you guys in the next one. Bye.